Ho, 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 and hello from Arch Eats. Coming at you in late November, and like it or not, it's officially Christmas/holiday season.
This episode of Arch Eats is sponsored by the Key Burger Bar and Boogie.
I'm George Mahey, and with me is my dear co-host, who also happens to be elfin hilarious.
Oh, George, these are amazing. You outdo yourself every week.
The puns are flowing. Slay it ain't so. Anyway, Cheryl's all bedecked in her holiday finery, and I'm not sure if that's the jingle of Santa's sleigh in the distance, or maybe it's just the ice in our cocktail shaker. But today we're going to talk about holiday pop-up bars in St. Louis, which didn't even exist here 10 years ago. And this year there are close to 30, and with us today is Julie Lally, who this season answers to Jolly Lally. And amazingly, she's been to almost every holiday pop-up bar in town. Today, we'll hit the highlights and also a few lowlights because Julie will contribute to today's micro rant. Actually, she has two, both of them pertaining to holiday pop-up bars. But as we always do, we'll start with what I can't stop thinking about. Cheryl, you're up.
Well, George, I have a perfect dish for this colder weather. It's some ooey gooey thing you can make yourself at home, which we often do our dishes that we talk about in restaurants, but I found a new use for Salume Bedou's Nduja, which is their spicy Southern Italian spreadable sausage. So I actually got this pro tip from Mark Sanfilippo, who's the owner and chief Salume officer, I guess you would call it, of Salume Bedou. He told me that his favorite way to enjoy the Nduja is on a grilled cheese. You take crusty bread, you take your favorite really melty cheese, maybe like a fontina, something that's going to get super gooey, and then you slather that with this spicy Nduja. You griddle it. It turns into this, I don't want to say fiery. Maybe it's not quite that hot, but it's got a kick to it.
Yeah, depending on how you slather it, it gets pretty hot.
So you have this goo from the grilled cheese that kind of tempers the heat. It's so wonderful. I can't recommend this enough. I made one myself, and it might be my new fun way to do a grilled cheese and to use the Nduja. I think it's going to be a thing. Mark says that they're maybe going to even do a pop-up with Steve's Hot Dogs about this, so look for it there. But if not, get some Salume Bedou's Nduja and DIY at your house.
What kind of bread do you use?
I think you have to use a very hefty sourdough bread, something that's got some substance to it, because this will get thick. So the gold standard, Union loafers.
That sounds great. You're going in one direction. I'm going in another. You know, I try to eat a little bit healthier during the days.
I'm definitely not there.
Well, leading up to Thanksgiving, when I tend to stuff my face for 4 days straight. So a couple weeks ahead, I'll try to behave myself. And last week, I found myself at O&O Pizza at the bar. No surprise there. Eating a bib salad that they make with dates, smoked pancetta, and it's placed over an underlayment of like stracciatella cheese with apples.
Delicious.
And the stracciatella is like this hidden surprise at the bottom. They toss in a little tomato balsamic vinaigrette. But the surprise ingredient is something I'd never tasted and I could not identify. I had to talk to the chef and say, what the heck did I just eat? Candied pine nuts.
That sounds unbelievable. Pine nut is the king of nuts anyway.
Well, this was sweet, it was puffed up, and it was crunchy, and it was the best salad topper ever. My go-to at O&O Pizza used to be the pepperoni pizza. Now it's going to be this bib salad. I hope it stays on the menu forever.
Well, I will definitely go in there for the salad with a side of the eggplant parmesan, which is a given at O&O.
We'll be right back.
The Key Burger Bar and Boogie is a pitch-perfect place where the music plays, the game is always on, and the dance floor is open. The Key is your new neighborhood hang and grand center. Stop in for a smash burger and stay for the drinks. Visit thekeystl.com. And now, back to the show.
In December, we've talked about this before, one of the topics on the Arch Eats podcast will be holiday hacks. And we want to hear from you, our listeners. We want you to share your favorite holiday tricks or shortcuts for either cooking or entertaining, and we'll discuss the topic on the episode. Email your questions or send a voice note to podcast@stlmag.com. I'm sure Julie Lally has a few. She's been a public relations professional for 25 years, and as such is one of the most influential PR people in town. She's with Insight PR, and if you want a door opened, Julie can open it for you. And this season, she's once again making time to explore the holiday bars. One of her pastimes, or maybe obsessions. We'll figure that out. Welcome to Arch Eats, Julie.
Thank you for having me. This is so much fun. I'm excited.
You are the absolute only person that we wanted to talk to because
Absolutely.
you are the queen of the pop-up bars.
Move over Mariah, right?
Exactly.
She's our queen of Christmas. I love it.
I've already started too. A couple weeks ago.
Wow.
Yes.
And it's only the end of November, so of course you got a head start. I've known you for a long time, and you've been doing this for a long time. But when was the first holiday bar you attended? When did this all start?
I went to Miracle, the OG. Right when I heard about Miracle coming to St. Louis, I said I have to go because I love a good theme. I'm all about the themes and dressing up. My husband jokes I have to have a separate closet for all of my pop-up attire, whether that be Christmas, Halloween, I do them all.
And to back up a little bit, Miracle started in 2015 in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
So 10 years ago, these things didn't even exist. And we got our first Miracle in 2016.
And you were there.
Yes, I think I went to the very first year.
I was there too, Ted and Jamie Kilgore, and I think she had some like Christmas tree on her head. But it was just so much fun.
Blown away. And I will say, if anybody's listening right now, take a sip of your hot chocolate every time you hear one of us say festive or immersive, because I think those words are going to be used quite a bit during this podcast. But yes, Miracle is the OG immersive experience if you are wanting that perfect holiday, just everything surrounding you. From they wrap the tables with wrapping paper. There's not an inch of wallpaper that you can see on the wall. Have you been to
I
Miracle?
have not been to Miracle. I've been to Sip and Santa, but I haven't been to Miracle, the other Kilgore
Yeah, I've been
one.
to Sip and Santa, which I also love, which is more of a beach theme. So plan accordingly with your Santa Hawaiian attire. But yes, Miracle, I think that's the one in St. Louis. If you haven't been, that's one on your bucket list that you should definitely go because it's the OG, like you said.
Since it's the OG, though, can you get in? Do you have to make reservations? Are they booked up? Do you know?
You have to make reservations, and they split it up into sections. So my biggest tip from this podcast, I hope people take away, is if there's one on your list, please follow them on social media so that you get the first tips of when things are going to go on sale, when reservations are going to go up, because Miracle already has that first 2 week up, and then they'll announce another date where you can get the rest of December booked. So I would just suggest getting on that website and trying to book your reservations now.
And Julie, I think this is something that I'd like to maybe back up a little bit. These have exploded over the past few years. I mean, you were talking about you went to probably the first Miracle here in 2016. And I feel like over the last couple years, they've added some. There's a few here.
I did a little research.
Yeah.
There was one in 2016, 4 in 2019, and it's 2025, and there's 30.
I mean, my goodness. I'm kind of wondering what you've seen over the last few years as this has exploded. And do you know
I think
why?
social media, number one, just because everyone's seeing how much fun they are, and then they want to be a part of that. And then restaurants are also saying, hey, we want to get in on this too. You know, we should be doing a pop-up. So I think social media has just made these things explode in popularity.
They show visual, and they have such a point of view.
They show the atmosphere, and they show all these fun drinks. You see old fashions made with snowball ice cubes. And all kinds of boozy hot chocolates and crazy cocktail names like You'll Shoot Your Eye Out. I just love all this stuff. It's so much fun.
Classic.
It's all about the Instagrammable moment, as you know. And so restaurants get really festive with their glassware. You might be sipping out of a gingerbread man cookie
Or a
glass.
gingerbread house.
Gingerbread house.
Yeah, right.
Yes, a Santa head. All those fun things. So I think that's part of it is restaurants saw what everybody else was doing and they said, let's get on this too. And people are looking for something to do over the holidays, separate from your normal going to see the Christmas lights. This is just something you can do before you see the Christmas lights.
Hey.
Go have a holiday cocktail or meal with your friends and family.
And as we said, there's 30 of these. We're not going to talk about all 30.
No.
There's no way we have the time. You somehow corralled these for us today.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
I say we start downtown where these all started and just kind of go through a little bit of a list of maybe what's new, because I think people know about Sleigh Shed at Union Station. You know about 360 downtown, and they've got the 360 Westport now. Those have been around for a while. What's great about those are no reservations, no tickets are needed. So you can just put your name on the wait list if there is a wait.
Good to know.
Yes, and you can walk around Union Station and do some of the other activities while you wait for your table. So Sleigh Shed at Union Station is definitely one I would recommend for downtown. Also, if you are downtown and you do try to go to one of the pop-ups and there is a long wait, you are so close to so many others that you can just hop on your car. Okay, let's try another one that's already downtown and see if we can possibly get on that list as well.
And we should mention that on the show notes, we will list all of these. And we will do those by location so that you can kind of plot a course if that's what you want to do. And with 30 of them, I think that's the best way. So look on the show notes, and even those we don't mention, you will see.
Yes. So new this year, what caught my eye, the Tom Sawyer Riverboat is doing the floating sleigh.
I
which
saw
I think
that.
is so fun.
How nostalgic is the riverboat anyway? That experience just brings me back.
Yes.
So
and I
that
think
sounds so great.
tourists will love that if you're staying downtown at a hotel.
I know nothing about this. Is this really a boat? Is this
Yeah.
floating? Actually, not just like fake floating.
With
It
food and
is.
drinks. And also, I want to mention this tip. I went online last night to look at the floating sleigh, and they've done it right. One thing I will say, if there is a restaurant or pop-up listening, make it easy for people to find the information, which the floating sleigh did. So you Google that, it popped right up. They have their own website, list everything out, how to get tickets, what the menu is. It's all very precise and clean and easy. And that's one of my tips. If you are doing a pop-up, make it easy for folks to find you. Pin your information on your Instagram page, have a separate tab on your website. Don't make us dig or we're not coming. It's just too hard to find the information.
And there's too many to
Too
choose
many.
from.
And you got to break through the noise. You know, if you're one of 30, you need to stand out. You need to have your gimmick, what sets you apart from everybody else, and easy to find and book.
She's speaking as a consumer and a PR person.
Yes.
It's
Love it.
coming
Yes.
at you
This is
from both
great.
ends. This is really good. Okay, we're downtown now. Where do we go?
Okay, so another fun one I've been to, Lit in Soulard. That's at Molly's. Very immersive. That's a fun one to wear all of your, like Cheryl, you can see what she has on right now, but to wear all your fun
This little
onesie,
thing?
yes, light up necklaces. That's a fun one. And one thing I will say too, don't stress out if you can't hit all of these this holiday season. Maybe just hit one or two. And know that these will be back next year, most likely, as you know, and more. So don't stress out if you can't make them all. Maybe, like George says, chart your course. Maybe you do one downtown, one in the county, and that's good for you for the season. Next year,
And-
cross that off your list and try a new one.
And that's good to remember. These numbers will continue to increase because with each one, most of these sell out or get close to selling out. So, everybody's going to rebook and do it again next year, and you'll see more guys in the game because they know they'll sell these out.
And that's why it's important to follow these folks on Instagram and Facebook, because oftentimes if there are reservations that come up last minute, that's where they'll post them. Like, hey, we just had a table open up at Miracle. You can jump on it.
That's a great pro tip.
Yes. So definitely be paying attention to some of your favorites so that you can get in there when things like that open up. You can jump on that and take advantage. More downtown. We have a new one called The Cozy, and that's at the garage downtown. The
Ooh.
Cozy Christmas Bar. It's brand new. Hasn't opened yet, so I haven't seen it, but I've been following them on Instagram and seeing all of their fun drinks that they've been posting. So that's at the garage, which is kind of a honky-tonk bar downtown. So look out for that one. We talked about Anheuser-Busch Lights as something to do.
Yes.
They've opened the Bevo Fox Den Speakeasy for this season. That's limited space. I'm not sure if they still have tickets available, but check online because I think those will go fast at a premium price.
And it's a great appeal because this is in a room that hasn't been used in
Right.
40 years. So
Oh,
everybody is very
exciting.
excited about that. And it's not very big. I think it could be sold out. But
Yeah.
like you said, things open up. There's wait lists. Monitor social media.
Monitor social media. Frosted at Tower Grove Park is
Oh,
another.
that's darling.
Yes, very cute. And that's a good one maybe to hit if you're going to Botanical Gardens to see the lights. Maybe go there beforehand for a cocktail. Calypso down in Soulard. We talked about Lit at Molly's. Calypso will have a new concept called Rum and Mistletoe.
Ooh.
So look out for that. Winterfest at Keener Plaza, huge and family friendly. I was just told they are doing themed igloos.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yes, each igloo outside will have a theme, and they're all colorful. So they said it'll look like gumdrops.
Beautiful.
And are all these night only, or can you go to one of these igloos during the day downtown?
Winterfest igloos, you can go during the day. A lot of the pop-ups do offer lunch options. Again, you're going to have to go to their individual page and websites. The downtown pop-ups primarily are the evening bar scene, but I do know Sleighs offers lunch, and you can bring the family. That's a family-friendly Christmas pop-up. It's gorgeous.
Everybody loves igloos. You know, the chalet at
So
at
fun.
Adara is a dinner time igloo. It's so much fun during this season.
So they will have Grumpy Green for the Grinch. They'll have Aloha Holidays, Candyland, Haunted Christmas, which I love,
Ooh.
Buffalo Plaid Cabin, White Christmas, and more. So that's brand new, and they're celebrating 10 years of Winterfest down at Keener Plaza.
And you
So-
rent these igloos.
Yes. You got to go to the website and check that information out.
So a lot of these things you can come and stay, and a lot
Yeah.
of them are timed. A lot of them
Correct.
give you a time limit.
A lot of them, when you book, you've got either an hour and a half or 2 hours at your table, which is usually enough time to sit and have a drink and a couple appetizers. And most people are going to other activities. They do this first and then they're off to the Fox Theater or AB Lights or Tillis Park, what have you. But yes, that is one thing to consider when you are booking. Think about your time because most of the time you will only have that limit. There are, however, several places that don't limit you and don't make you sit at the table. Avalanche is one of those at Work and Leisure in Midtown. You buy a ticket, but you are free to roam around and you're free to stay as long as you would like. And you don't have your one table and chair that you have to stay at the whole time. You can really experience the whole space. And Avalanche is more of a winter wonderland pop-up, like a ski lodge thing. It's not Christmas, it's more winter vibes. So people will wear fur coats and ski sweaters, and that's a lot of
Well,
fun.
and that might be a good place to kind of jump in before we get into some more. What in your mind makes a perfect holiday pop-up, wintertime pop-up experience?
Yes. Well, just like the theme. So
Mhm.
going in what your theme is, and you can dress accordingly and tell all your friends to, okay, like Avalanche or Le Chalet at the Meridian is another après-ski that you can dress accordingly and pose for your pictures, all wearing kind of similar attire. Or maybe it's more of the traditional Christmas red and green Santa or your ugly Christmas sweater.
Yeah, one we just wrote about was the Winter Winderland
Yes.
out at
Yeah.
Robust in Webster Groves. This is their second annual. What set this apart last year was the nights were themed. And it made for a tremendous month. Just finished 2024 with a bang. And some of those theme nights are fun. They've got
Yes.
pajama night where everybody wears pajamas. They've got Santa Claus night where Santa and Mrs. Claus are there. There were actually dancing Santas there
Wow.
last year. I don't know if that's going to make an appearance, but it sure caught my eye. What else do they have there, Julie?
Yes. Well, they do the après-ski. I think they did an ugly sweater
Yes.
night.
Oh,
where
and
you-
they did a girls' night out, and the theme is "Where My Ho Ho Ho's At." So you gotta like that.
Oh,
It's-
that's
fun.
funny.
the whole thing is so much fun, and there's a giving component there too. There's a giving tree
Yes.
where you pull things off, and you can contribute to half a dozen
Yes.
charities. So the whole thing, Arlene said, it was a lot of work last year, less work this year because we had all the decorations. We added to it. We kind of did the same and then some. And timing on these, Julie, I mean, a lot of these start the day after Thanksgiving. A lot of them are in force already. I think Winter Wonderland starts the day before Thanksgiving. So again, monitor their social media to see when it
Yes.
all happens.
And some are only weekends, but most are starting right after Thanksgiving, like you said, and go all through Christmas and New Year's Eve. And I know we're jumping around. So just as we finish downtown, as our little sleigh tours around, I will mention Ballpark Village has Tinsel Tavern returning, which I've done that one. It's a lot of fun. Let's see. We've got City Museum.
Yeah, that looks
Family
really fun.
friendly. They do the North Pole Bar with all kinds of drinks. They do the Cozy Chalet on the first floor. So City Museum sort of crawling through the museum. Every floor pretty much has an experience and a pop-up to
Like it's not
visit.
wacky enough down there already, right?
And they do Christmas karaoke at Beaten at Bod's, which is so fun. So you can do that with friends or your family. So that's downtown. I think we've talked about everything happening down in Soulard and downtown. Midtown, we talked about Avalanche. Right across the street is Santa's Speakeasy at Hidden Gems, which is darling. It's pink and disco.
Ooh.
Very fun for a girls' night out. And you do need a ticket for that one, but it's very inexpensive. Limited food options there. So I would say that's more of just come get your drinks, maybe dine somewhere else, or a great place to hit before the Fox Theater or a show at the Symphony. And then just right down, keep heading down Locust. You'll hit the On God Arts Hotel. They have the Moose Mug Lounge.
That's
at
on the roof.
On the roof. I've been there. It's cute. Of course I've been there. It's a Christmas vacation theme, hence the
No.
moose mug. So
Please tell
yes.
me there's a giant tree. Oh my gosh.
And there's Clark Griswold cutouts and very, very fun for the Christmas vacation lovers. So again, love a good theme. They've got plenty of merch out there if you're looking for your Griswold shirt. That's a fun one to hit.
Head west, young lady. What else you got?
So we've got the brand new Shack the Halls. ShackTheHalls.com. They've done it right. They have their own separate website you can go to so you don't have to dig around the regular restaurant site and find the information. Its own dedicated website with all the information there and how to order tickets and the menu options, the drink options. So once that opens, you're going to start seeing all the pictures, and I know that they are going to be blowing it out with the decor.
They spent a fortune on the decor. They've sold out their first 2 weeks, and the second 2-week iteration for the last 2 weeks in December, I guess, those tickets go on sale December 1st. So anybody interested in it, and
Yes.
everybody should be prepared to jump on the website on that day. And it's really brilliant because the Shack is not open at night. So
Correct.
this is something that's, almost found money for these guys. It's open for breakfast and lunch. And to say you can't get in on those nights, you can still go at breakfast and lunch and experience all the
Yes.
fun decor.
It's so smart.
Yeah, and that's another tip, I think, for the podcast. Anybody listening, you're thinking about doing your office Christmas lunch, that would be a great place to go for brunch or lunch. So some of these places that do serve lunch, just think about that for during the day. That's a great, girls, ladies' lunch place to exchange gifts or your office Christmas party or lunch spot. And a lot of places have rooms you can reserve.
And the standard menu at Shack applies at breakfast and lunch,
Mm-hmm.
but they've created a whole new menu for Shack the Halls.
Yes.
And that was a big thing for them because a lot of these guys don't focus on food, and they wanted food to be a prime component. It's not just everybody hanging around having Christmas cheer. They've composed this very special menu, and it's really quite the experience, or
Yeah.
so I'm told. I haven't
Yeah,
been.
I'm going December 11th. I'm very excited. So I will report back.
Please do.
Yes, and follow my Instagram. So make sure you're following all these guys, and anything that we're talking about today that's on your list, just give them a like and a follow on social media because that's where I'm seeing all of the information more so than just going to the restaurant website. We talked about the chalet briefly. That's returning, and that's at Le Meridian Hotel. And you do need a ticket for that one, but they've got the outdoor curling and fire pits and s'more. It's really a neat experience. And you can rent a private room as well if you want to do like the indoor-outdoor thing. So that's been around for a few years.
A few
now.
years, and it's more lodgy themed than
Mhm.
Christmas themed.
Correct. That's more of a winter lodge theme like avalanches. And then Mary Moves is going to be at the World Chess Club Hall of Fame.
Oh, fun.
I think it was called Jingle in previous years. So Mary Moves, and that's, I believe, family friendly. And then Wrapped at Cocina Latina in Central West End.
It's a great
They've
restaurant.
been posting their drinks on social media, and they look delicious. So definitely follow them. And that's one of Braden's. Braden STL has about 4 or 5 pop-up that he's doing. They're all raising money for charity. So I think everything's going to tornado relief. He's doing a lot with Steve's Hot Dogs and the Fountain.
Because they
The
have one as
Delmar-
well.
Yes, the Delmar district is going to have a candy cane experience called Cane at Steve's Hot Dogs. That's family friendly, candy cane themed. And then right next door is the Ice Fountain, which is the fountain on Delmar. So that whole area, that's brand new for this year, and it's going to raise money for charity.
Julie, you were talking about the charitable component, and there's one, and this is a true pop-up. This is a one-day only pop-up. It's called 12 Bars of Charity, and it's happening on December 21st this year. It's an annual event, and they call it the world's most charitable bar crawl, and it's a competition between several local charities. You pay $15, you dedicate it to a charity, and then you go on shuttles. And the $15 gives you a commemorative sweatshirt, and that's your ticket onto the shuttle. And you go around to these different bars on December 21st between 2 and 6 p.m., and the whole thing is for charity. And I understand it's a wild scene and really a good time. Kind of a Christmas pop-up, but it's a one-day only deal. They're all the same, but they're all different. All the same merriment, but they've
all got their little hook. I mean, everybody's kind of done a pretty good job at making it their own. Everybody's got their little signature, if you will, on their own pop-up. So that's what makes it fun to try all these new ones. Every year I like to check them off my list. Oh, been there, done that. Okay, so we were going to head to Kirkwood next. Cocktails and Claws has been open for a couple weeks, and that's the Peacemaker Four Hands pop-up experience. They have a separate menu for food and cocktails for this, and it's on your table. You just scan the QR code, it'll pop right up. But you can still get the full Peacemaker menu if you want. They're just offering special items for this. And they're all delicious. Pigs in a blanket. Ooh, crab cakes. Yes.
Anything out west for those that live out west?
So there's only one out in West County, and it's great. It's called Bling. This is the 3rd year for Bling. It's at the Wolf Cafe.
Oh, yes.
And it's beautiful. They have tons of beautiful Christmas trees. So it's more of the true Christmas theme. The full menu is available. You can go in the morning. You can go for lunch. You can go for dinner. So it's during normal business hours. So I enjoy Bling. It's family friendly and just another alternative if you don't want to do the late night. You could go for breakfast and lunch and still get that pop-up experience. And they have a fun drink called Sugar Plum Fairy, and Christmas Vacation is one of their tropical drinks. So definitely check that out because they go over the top with decorating. It's great for your pictures and tons of lights, and definitely recommend Bling in Baldwin. And then we go a little bit further west, Cottleville, St. Charles area. Dasher's Dive Bar is coming back to Newtown, and it's under a huge heated enclosed tent. I think it's called the Marquee, and Dan Buck runs this, and it's interactive and fun, and there's games. And again, we talk about what sets you apart from other people. This is like no other pop-up in town. They want you to get up and participate. He plays, they call them reindeer games. It's very interactive. So if you're going to book Dasher's Dive Bar, it's best to do with like a big group, your family, because you are going to play. They get you up to dance. But that's not your vibe. It's probably not the place for you. But I think if you're ready to have a good time, party, office party, it's all enclosed and heated. It's actually pretty beautiful.
Well, you have your absolute favorite is out that way.
We've
Yes.
saved the best for last.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
I go
drum
every
roll.
year. I go
Little
every
drummer
year.
boy drum roll, right?
Okay, so
Oh, very good.
Toasted Chestnut at the public schoolhouse in Cottleville is like walking into a Hallmark Christmas movie.
My
The whole
gosh.
area is just gorgeous. We go every year. This is my family's pop-up. So we make the reservations the minute they get announced. We are on it. We have a group of 20 that
Oh, my.
go. We have dinner there. You get like a 2-hour time limit, but it's perfect. We have dinner there. We all do drinks. we always celebrate my niece and my dad's birthday. My dad's turning 80 this year. So we'll be
What?
doing
Happy
the
birthday.
whole family celebration. And what sets them apart too, they usually have characters walking around to take pictures with. So you might see the Grinch, you might see Santa. And then after your meal, you get a ticket to walk through this beautiful lighted pathway outside, which I
Oh.
believe raises money for the firefighters in Cottleville, if I'm correct. But it's just another added element that you can be outdoors and do something. They have a fireplace outside. They also have the igloos there. But Toasted Chestnut is worth the drive. I know it's a little bit further out for some folks, but definitely one to put on your bucket list.
And what do you think you love the best about it out of all of them? Is that one just
The decor.
immersive
Yeah.
and the decor?
And they change it every year. So the
Oh.
decor is always different. They do my favorite Halloween pop-up as well, Public Ghoul House during Halloween. And it is
Noted.
over the top, immersive. They do the pop-up game right. They have a Valentine's pop-up. They do St. Patrick's Day. So follow Public Schoolhouse on social media because you won't be disappointed. They always have some fun theme going on.
We'll be right back.
This episode of Arch Eats is supported by the Delmar Loop, inviting you to Holidays in the Loop on December 6th. Enjoy a full day of festive fun, including the Holiday Cookie Crawl, where more than 15 local businesses offer free treats while you shop and play. Bring your furry friends and snap a photo with Santa during Picks with Pups at the Moonrise Hotel. And don't miss the magical Fitz's tree lighting. Shop local, eat local, and celebrate the spirit of the season in the Delmar Loop. Learn more at visittheloop.com. And now, back to the show.
You know, we said we weren't going to hit all 30. We damn near did hit all 30 in this. How can you not be excited about all this? So I almost don't want to end with a micro rant, but we are because we always do. And Julie, you have some advice. Being the OG of this
Yes.
scene, you have a couple suggestions for folks.
Yes.
And you have some suggestions for those that actually want to do this.
Yeah, this is new for us. We're actually turning the micro rant over
Yeah.
to our
I'm going to
guests.
sit back and put my
Thank
feet up.
This may be an Arch Eats first, so I'm very excited about this.
Yes, I would say as a consumer, places that don't serve food at the pop-up, you're missing the mark here. You've got a captive audience. They're here for 2 hours. I think some places that just have the little snacks or the pretzels,
And spiced popcorn. Come on.
spiced
You can do
popcorn,
better.
come on. So that's my major rant, I think. For the ones that aren't doing it, do better. Put a food truck outside, something.
And let's face it, it's good business to serve food when you're
Yes.
serving alcohol. It's
Absolutely.
you're performing a
Absolutely.
public service,
'Cause
right?
this- I now have to go 2 places because now I need to eat. But so I would say if there's some reason you don't have a kitchen or can't provide the food, then get a food truck and let people, partake or let them bring food in. So that's one rant. Do you want to go into the second rant?
I think so.
Yeah,
because
this will be the first time we've had two
Two.
rants also. So
I could go all day with the rants. Okay, so number 2, don't call yourself a true pop-up. If you're just throwing up some garland and some Christmas lights, you're decorating your restaurant for Christmas. You're not a true pop-up unless you are having a special, separate cocktail menu, appetizer menu. That makes you a pop-up. So if you're just decorating for Christmas, that's one thing, but don't call yourself a holiday pop-up if that's all you're doing.
that's just phoning it in
That's
at that
phoning
point.
it in, and everybody's decorating. You throw some garland on the bar, some twinkle lights. Everybody will do that. That's just decorating for the holidays.
we definitely covered the pop-up bars. Julie, again, you're the queen. We can't thank you enough. And we'll just say, keeping in theme, that's a wrap from Mary Mahey.
And,
Cheery Bear.
and Julie Lally.
See you next time. Thank you for listening to Arch Eats. Be sure to follow us and share with your friends. We put out new episodes every other week, where you'll always see links in the show notes for everything you heard about today. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow along on Instagram at St. Louis Mag and at George Mahey and Cheryl A. Bear.
If you loved what you heard, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. And for more of the freshest coverage on the local restaurant and culinary scene, subscribe to our dining newsletters.
Best dishes, and see you next time.
Arch Eats is a production of St. Louis Magazine. Audio editing by Brendan Shanahan and produced by Kylie Green Lemoyne.